열정, 젊음을 대표하는 에너지 드링크 아식스와 퍼포먼스로 앞서가다 LG 울트라 기어가 함께합니다. 안녕하세요. ASL 시즌12 24강 B조 경기로 인사드립니다. 안녕하세요. 이영경입니다. 지난주 토요일에 펼쳐졌던 24강 개막전 경기, 그 누구도 예상하기 힘들었던 이변이 탄생하면서 이번 시즌 많은 분들의 기대가 한껏 올라와 있는 상황입니다. 과연 24강 B조 경기에 나서는 선수들은 또 어떤 마음으로 경기를 앞두고 있을지 이야기 나눠보는 시간 갖도록 하겠습니다. 먼저 첫 경기를 앞두고 있는 도재욱 선수와 배병우 선수 만나보겠습니다. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
반갑습니다.
네, 먼저 도재욱 선수와 인사를 좀 나눠보겠습니다. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
요즘 굉장히 바쁜 나날들을 보내고 있는 도재욱 선수입니다. ASL 준비하랴 또 사업하랴 참 눈코 뜰 새 없이 시간을 보내고 계실 것 같은데
네.
그러는 와중에 조금은 이번 시즌 좀 힘들었어요. 예선에서도 그렇고 와일드카드전에서도 그렇고
네네.
그래서 본선을 앞두고 있는 지금 마음이 어떨지 굉장히 궁금하거든요.
일단은 제가 그전과 다르게 좀 이제는 또 다른 것도 같이 하고 있는데 그래도 괜히 제가 또 못하게 되면은 그것 때문에 오히려 영향이 갔다는 소리 들을까봐 이번에는 8강보다 좀 더 높이 올라가고 싶어요.
오히려 좀 사업을 시작한 게 경기적으로도 더 좀 많은 동기부여가 되셨나 봐요.
일단은 조금 더 그 마음 편하게 임할 수 있을 것 같아요. 왜냐면은 그래도 그 다른 것도 있으니까 좀 더 편하게 할 수 있을 것 같아요. 네.
도재욱 선수만큼이나 굉장히 긴장하고 계신 배병우 선수와도 인사를 좀 나눠보겠습니다. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
네, ASL 기준으로는 첫 번째 진출이고요. 또 현역 시절 커리어까지 포함하면 무려 11년 만에 개인 리그 진출이라고 들었습니다.
아, 그렇게나 됐나요?
네. 게다가 또 아이디와 같은 날짜인 8월 15일 날 예선을 통과하셨잖아요.
네네네.
느낌이 좀 좋으실 것 같아요, 이번 시즌.
일단 느낌이 굉장히 좋고 조도 좀 생각보다는 괜찮게 걸린 것 같아가지고 자신 있습니다.
조가 생각보다 마음에 든다라는 말씀은 어떤 선수와의 좀 대진을 염두에 두고 하시는 말씀이실까요?
일단 토스가 2명이기도 하고
네.
그리고 이제 도재욱 선수랑은 현역 때 제가 2대0으로 이기고 있기 때문에 자신 있습니다.
또 그런 스토리가 두 선수 사이에 있다는 걸 또 밝혀주셨는데 도재욱 선수 조금 식은땀이 나시는 것 같아요.
기억도 안 나는데 혼자 기억하고 있네요. 그래서 저는 제가 지군지도 몰랐어요. 그랬구나 이런 느낌이에요. 그냥.
지금 서로 한 펀치씩 좀 주고받으시는 느낌이 드는데 이 배병호 선수는 또 최근 개인 방송으로 진행되는 콘텐츠 중에 배병대라는 콘텐츠가 굉장히 좀 많은 분들의 관심을 받고 있잖아요.
아, 네네네.
네, 또 거기서 코치로 활동하고 있는 김범수 선수.
네네.
지난 A조 경기에서 16강에 올라갔습니다.
네, 맞습니다.
좀 보면서 많은 생각이 좀 드셨을 것 같은데 좀 보면서 어떤 생각 드셨나요?
약간 그 이변이라고 좀 생각하는데 저도 이제 약간 약자 입장에서 하는 거기 때문에 오늘 그 이변을 좀 만들어낼 수 있도록 하겠습니다.
나도 할 수 있다라는 좀 강력한 동기부여가 받으셨나요?
아, 네네. 좋은 기운을 좀 받았습니다.
혹시 김범수 선수가 진출하고 나서 배병호 선수에게 뭐 따로 이야기한 부분은 없나요?
따로 이야기는 안 했고 그냥 연습을 서로 해주는 관계이기 때문에 기운을 좀 좋게 받은 것 같습니다.
16강 진출에 기운을 받아왔다라고 말씀을 하셨는데 도재욱 선수도 기운 받아오셨잖아요.
어떤 기억 받았어요?
강윤철 선수가 우승 후보로 도재욱 선수를 언급을 안 했어요. 이거 엄청난 기운 아닌가요?
근데 또 오늘에서 영상을 봤는데 또 2승 진출 예상했더라고요. 그게 또 걸리더라고요. 마음에 살짝. 그래서 그래도 버프랑 디버프 둘 다 줬으니까 제가 잘해봐야죠.
네, 또 대회 시즌만 되면 도재욱 선수에 대한 관심이 굉장히 올라와요. 그만큼 많은 팬분들은 도재욱 선수가 대회에서 뭔가 보여주길 항상 좀 기대하고 계시는 것 같은데 도재욱 선수 개인적으로 이번 시즌은 좀 느낌이 어떠신가요?
솔직히 제가 우승 후보는 아니라고 생각을 해요. 개인적으로. 근데 그래도 저번보다는 좀 좋은 성적 한번 내보고 싶은 마음이 좀 있습니다.
4강까지 올라간 경험이 있는 선수이기 때문에 언제 그 잠재력이 튀어나와도 이상하지 않을 또 도재욱 선수의 커리어인데 자 이번에는 양 선수에게 전해주신 팬분들의 질문을 좀 드려보겠습니다. 먼저 도재욱 선수에게 보내주신 질문인데요. 최근 닭꼬치집 사장님으로도 열심히 활동하고 계신 도재욱 선수 오늘 경기에서는 몇 단계 매운맛의 플레이를 준비해 오셨을지 질문을 주셨네요.
오늘은 그 정도 갈 필요 없이 그냥 소금 정도로 이기겠습니다.
따로 양념가는 필요 없다.
네, 그냥 밋밋하니까 이렇게 또 얘기했습니다. 네.
그럼 좀 배병우 선수, 도지혁 선수에게 어떤 맛을 좀 보여주고 싶으신가요? 또 프로토스 상대로 좀 자신감을 내비치셨는데.
네네, 저는 완전 매운맛으로 보여드리겠습니다.
기억이 안 나는 도지혁 선수의 그 패배의 기억을 또 다시 한번 좀 깨우쳐줄 그럴 마음이 있으신가요?
그럼요.
알겠습니다. 이 배병우 선수에게도 질문이 하나 들어왔습니다. 함께 방송을 진행하고 있는 배병대 멤버들 중에서 특별히 애착이 가는 분이 있다면 어떤 분이실지 궁금해하시더라고요.
애착이 뭐 사적으로 뭐 관심 있는 그런 건 아니죠.
그냥 뭐 제자로서도 그렇고.
제자로서는 이제 일단 규효 선수가
좀 특별히 응원해준 부분이 있나요? 배병대 멤버들이 오늘 경기를.
그럼요. 많은 응원을 받았고 좋은 기운을 받았기 때문에 올라갈 것 같습니다.
자, 과연 두 선수의 이 신경전 끝에 또 경기 결과는 어떻게 나올지 굉장히 기대되는데요. 마지막으로 양 선수의 각오를 한 말씀씩 들어보겠습니다. 도지혁 선수.
일단은 제가 지금 유일하게 12시즌 연속 진출한 거라고 알고 있는데
네.
그 기록을 오늘도 좋게 받아들여서 올라가도록 하겠습니다.
좋습니다. 배병우 선수도 한 말씀 해주시죠.
한번 배병은 영원한 배병!
네, 짧고 강력한 각오까지 잘 들어봤습니다. 두 선수 인터뷰 감사드리고요. 멋진 경기 기대하겠습니다. 고맙습니다. 자, 이렇게 해서 오늘 첫 경기에 나서는 도재욱 선수와 배병우 선수와 함께 이야기 나눠봤습니다. 두 선수의 신경전이 굉장히 날카로운데요. 자, 두 번째 경기 역시 굉장히 기대되는 두 선수가 인터뷰를 기다리고 있습니다. 최호선 선수와 윤용태 선수 만나서 이야기 나눠보도록 하겠습니다. 두 선수 모셔보겠습니다. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
자, 먼저 최호선 선수 안녕하세요.
네, 안녕하세요.
기세가 요즘 굉장히 좋다는 얘기를 들었습니다. 이재호 선수나 최근 굉장히 떠오르고 있는 김유정 라인도 위협하고 있을 정도로 굉장히 잘하는 테란이다라는 소리를 좀 듣고 계신다고 알고 있는데 이번 시즌 어떤 것 같나요? 조대진이나 이런 것들이.
대진이요? 근데 누구한테 얘기 들으신지 모르겠는데 요즘에 좀 못하고 있긴 한데 그래도 자신은 있습니다 오늘.
자신감의 그 원천은 어디에서 나오나요 그럼?
일단 병우 형이 있어가지고 1승은 깔고 와가지고 네 토스 한 번만 이기면 진출하지 않을까.
자, 또 옆에 계시는 분은 오랜만에 좀 ASL 본선 무대에 올라오신 윤용태 선수입니다. 안녕하세요.
네, 안녕하세요.
네, ASL 시즌 10 이후에 또 오랜만에 진출이세요. 더 긴장되거나 더 기대되거나 하는 부분이 있으실까요?
사실 긴장되기보다는 오늘 너무 재밌을 것 같고요. 오늘 저의 재물이 누가 될지 기대하고 있습니다.
나의 재물은 어떤 선수가 될지 기대하고 있다라고 말씀하셨는데 머릿속에 그래도 한 선수들이 좀 떠오르지 않나요?
일단 여기는 없고 더 높이 올라간다면 그때 생각해 볼 예정이고요.
알겠습니다. 윤영태 선수는 사실 기량을 ASL 시즌 12 열리기 전까지 확인하기는 어려웠지만 많은 분들이 오프라인의 윤영태라면 뭔가 보여줄 것이다 라는 기대를 좀 가지고 계세요. 이 기대에 대한 윤영태 선수의 생각은 어떠세요?
평소라면은 제가 기대를 한껏 보여드리고 싶은데 오늘은 좀 낮춰서 기대치를 좀 낮춰서 보셨으면 좋겠고요. 그래도 최대한 올라갈 수 있는 경기를 하는 게 제 목표입니다.
네, 비슷한 질문을 최호선 선수에게도 좀 드리고 싶습니다. 윤영태 선수는 어떤 선수가 내 재물이 될까라는 생각을 좀 하고 계시다고 했는데 최호선 선수, 이 선수와 경기한다면 내가 정말 많은 것들을 보여줄 수 있겠다 싶은 선수가 있으실까요?
아까 말했듯이 일단 병우 형 한 명은 제 아래에 있지 않을까 생각해가지고 요즘에 게임을 안 하더라고요.
네.
게임을 안 하고 그냥 역캠분들이랑 놀고 그래가지고 병우 형이랑 하면 좀 자신은 있어요.
과연 두 선수가 대진에서 만날 수 있을지도 좀 관전 포인트가 될 것 같은데요. 양 선수에게도 팬 여러분의 질문을 좀 드려보겠습니다. 최호선 선수 또 스타판을 대표하는 애주가이시잖아요.
네.
술에 관련된 질문이 최호선 선수에게 좀 올라오는 것 같은데 ASL 경기 보면서 혼술할 때 추천하고 싶은 술안주 어떤 건가요? 최호선 선수의 경기를 더 재미있게 보려면
순회 닭꼬치가 맛있더라고요. 순회 닭꼬치 시켜가지고 같이 맥주랑 드시면은 재밌지 않을까 생각됩니다. 네.
동료를 생각하는.
네네.
네, 알겠습니다. 자, 이번에는 윤영태 선수에게 남겨주신 질문입니다. 많은 분들이 윤영태 선수의 손목 상태에 대해서 조금 걱정을 하고 계세요. 상태가 좀 어떠신지 팬분들에게 좀 전해주실 수 있을까요?
통증이 이제 좀 솔직히 말하면 좀 심하긴 하고요. 그래도 뭐 경기 준비하고 오늘 경기할 만큼의 그런 손목은 되기 때문에 예, 핑계대지 않고 열심히 한번 해보겠습니다.
또 부상을 극복하고 또 멋진 모습을 보여주시길 많은 분들이 기대하고 계실 것 같습니다. 자, 마지막으로 두 선수의 각오를 끝으로 한 말씀씩 들어보겠습니다. 최호선 선수.
근데 조지명식 못 가본 지가 진짜 오래된 것 같아요. 그래가지고 이번에 조지명식 한번 가보고 싶습니다. 네.
네, 윤영태 선수도 한 말씀 부탁드립니다.
옆에 최호서 선수가 조지명식 간 지가 오래됐다고 하는데 더 오래되게 할 수 있도록 열심히 하겠습니다.
네, 두 선수의 멋진 경기 기대하겠습니다. 인터뷰 고맙습니다.
네, 감사합니다.
감사합니다.
자, 24강 B조 경기를 앞두고 있는 4명의 선수와 함께 이야기 나눠봤습니다. 오늘 4선수 모두 이기고자 하는 투지가 엄청난 것 같은데요. 과연 어떤 선수들이 16강에 올라갈 수 있을지 ASL 시즌12 24강 B조 경기 지금 바로 함께 하시죠.
What up, everybody? It's ya boys, Tastosis. We're back for Group B, and I think this is going to be an especially fun night tonight. Artosis, how you doing, buddy?
Man, I'm in a pretty darn good mood, I would say, right? We have ASL Season 12 underway, day number 2. Day 1 was pretty fun overall. I mean, a bit disappointing as a Terran player.
Yeah.
To see one of the best Terrans in the world go out in that first round, but what are you going to do?
Yeah, what are you going to do? It's good to be here with you guys. I'm glad ASL Season 12 started a little bit quicker than we actually expected. And, of course, before we get the show going, guys, do check us out on patreon.com/ASL English. We are unable to do these recordings live in the studio like we were before, but we did manage to get the rights from AfreecaTV, and we can assemble these broadcasts together for you guys. And I think in a lot of ways we've actually made this a little bit better. It's spoiler-free for us, of course, and spoiler-free for you guys if you guys avoid the spoilers. But we've got translations in here now. I think we've enhanced some parts of the production. So if you love us, you love what we're doing, and you want to support English StarCraft 1 casting from Tastosis, check out that Patreon.
Totally. Thank you so much, everyone who has been supporting. Now, let's take a quick look at the groups. Today's group, of course, Best 815, sSak, and Free. From Group A, we saw Sulky win it, Noob in second place. He was overjoyed to eliminate Sharp and move on to that next round. And yeah, taking a look at this group, Tasteless, like I'm going to go ahead and fill this in and speak for both of us that Best should win the group. But who else do you think is going to get out of here with them?
It's hard to say. I think the correct answer is sSak. I think that's
sSak,
who you have to go for. 815. This is a player who is pretty well known, but I feel like he's not been within our orbit of games we've gotten to cast. So this will be interesting to see how he performs. Free is good, but I mean, I don't know if Free's in condition to take on sSak. I think Best should easily just walk right out of this group.
Yeah, like Best is definitely the favorite, and even if he gets upset, he should be able to get out in second place. I could see Free getting out. I can't see 815, honestly. Like he is a very good Zerg player, but it doesn't feel like he's the same level as the other two. But I do feel like Free's in pretty good shape right now. He's done pretty well in some of the Caster Muse leagues. But yeah, sSak is quite a strong Terran. Some people have placed him even as high as 5th best Terran in the world right now, so it'll be interesting to see how he performs tonight and if he can make it out.
Yeah, Best has been, I think, a big fan favorite here in the last 2 years. There was a period pre-Flash going to the military where he was having these matches against Flash, whether it was Flash's Terran or Flash's Random, and Best was basically doing better than anybody else against him. He really does seem to be maybe in the best condition, no pun intended, that he's been in his StarCraft career. He was hungry to go on and win the previous season of ASL, Season 11, but ended up getting scumbag protossed by Mini, who did the proxy gates, I believe, 2 games out of the 3 that we had that Mini won.
Well, you know, I think that Best is like the best player who hasn't won a championship, basically. Like, it's actually, this is a glaring thing upon his resume. But 815, you know, 815 is, he's a good player. He's a pro. He's been around forever. He's been very active for the last few years, at least. But yeah, definitely overshadowed. You know, there's a lot of very strong Zerg players out of there, and 815 is generally not someone that you think of near the top of the list.
Yeah, I think 815, though, this guy is a lifer. I know he went away from the pro scene for a while, but obviously he's still active if he's able to qualify for ASL. So let's see what he's got in store here for Best. You know, Best, again, yeah, I like what you said, Tastosis. I think he is the best StarCraft player who has not won a StarLeague like this. So, you know, he still has that incomplete part of his life. He's hoping to fill that gap. Let's see if he can start doing that now here in this match against 815. Again, 815, we got a lot of question marks about where this guy's at exactly. We're going to find out now.
Well, it is best one, so anything is possible.
Yep.
Let's do it. Map number 1, Eclipse.
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 The moon is
It's
in front
when
of
the
the
moon's
sun.
in front of the sun.
Darkness during daytime. So, yeah, let's see.
Don't look directly at it.
Then you will go blind. You think you won't, but you will. Oh, no, it's so good to have ASL back. It's going to be weird, man, unless AfreecaTV changes their plans, because after this season, there's going to be a lot of downtime for ASL.
Yeah, well, I think they're going to try to throw up ASTL again, because that was like kind of supposed to be in between the seasons,
Right.
and I think the whole COVID situation kind of screwed it up.
Yeah,
so,
for those that haven't followed the news with this, because I get asked this a lot in my stream. I'm sure you do as well, but, you know, South Korea initially was the country best handling COVID when the pandemic started. And they were very, very slow with the vaccine rollout. And I think because they did a good job early on, everybody out here got pretty laid back. And now we've had a couple outbreaks, including one where I was forced into quarantine, even though I didn't get it. Somebody that I worked with had it that I was with. So we're still waiting for everybody to get vaccinated out here. So we are having to kind of do some workarounds with what is feasible production-wise and what is doable out here in Korea. Stuff really isn't back to normal yet.
yeah, and, you know, hopefully it will be soon here. Seems like it's catching up. But that all being said, the map is Eclipse, and Best with a pretty quick scout down that kind of big, wide-open middle-ish path. The other middle path, I guess you could call it. And it looks like he wants to Nexus first here.
Yeah, well, if he scouts it, and I don't believe there's actually... He's going to forge, but extremely late. I'm sorry, was there a pool that's been made? I can't tell by looking at the minimap. There it has been, right? Okay, so, yeah, you would have to get a forge.
It looks like he just has this kind of timed out, right? Where it's like, if it's hatch first, he can just go Nexus, and if not, good to go, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Basically, if you see hatch on 12, then you get the Nexus. Otherwise, you just get the forge up later, and it's like probably fine. I don't have the math on this fine-tuned very well, but Best definitely does. And so, yeah, we'll throw the cannon down here. That is the spot you want to make it at, by the way. Not right up by the pylon, but a little bit back. Because if Hydra busts come later, you need that cannon back there to cover the cannons in front of it that are going to be warping in.
Now, I gotta say, this is kind of an interesting thing to me.
Please.
Because Gateway Expand has been so popular in this matchup, it seems to be kind of the new norm. So to see Best instead say, no, we're doing a Forge Fast expansion here. What do you think about that? Was this like a hedged build where if it's hatch first, he can go Nexus Gate?
That's a good question. I actually hadn't thought of that.
Because like if it's that, I actually almost like this more than a Gateway Expand. If your idea is on a 2-player map, okay, if he hatches first, I can go Nexus Gate, which is the greediest. And if it's a pool first, I just throw down the Forge and play like a standard Forge game.
I like that idea a lot. I'd be curious to see if that's what his thoughts are. You know, it does seem like, at least with Best's approach, and you know, whenever even like low-level players, like even D-level players, they have some kind of theory they're coming into the matchup with, right? And there's a lot of different theories people have with like how this is going to play out and what ideas are at play. And it seems like Best's approach has basically been to try to be as greedy as possible if he can get away with it. But yeah, I mean, basically the Zerg opened up with the normal opener, which is Overpool, which kind of stops everything, but doesn't really get you ahead in any crazy way. And And so, you know, I mean, the Forge opening's up. You do still have Zealot pressure you can do after the Forge is the cannon's up. It's kind of a little bit of a different ordering. I think there's a little bit more elasticity with the other build where you go for, you know, gate first, and then you can kind of pick and choose how many Zealots you have. But I think this, you know, this is a build, especially for somebody like Best. It's in his bones, right? The Forge expands,
for sure.
so he's going to be very, very good with whatever he's got to do here.
Well, yeah, he's been around forever before we really did gateway expansions, so the Forge expand definitely going to be something he's pretty comfortable opening with. Here at 815, I mean, it looks as standard as it really ever could be with the overpool into 3-hatch, quick layer with the Spire. Does clear that Zealot very, very well behind the mineral line. Also kills the Probe. But, you know, you already saw the Spire being made, so, you know, the Probe has basically gotten the intel it really needed.
Yeah, I think seeing that Spire is coming, if he could have kept it alive a little bit longer, that would have been good. We got to point out that Ling's speed is not done. So, in theory, you could keep running with that probe forever, right? So, not ideal that he lost it, because you do want to check for a second gas, because that'll usually tell you if they're going to do a Muta all-in. But I think at this point in time, he's probably pretty comfortable. 815 is going into what looks to be a pretty modern macro play.
Yeah, he's just gone up to 5 hatches at this point, and we'll see if he's going to make just Scourge or some Mutas with that as well. Still some Zealots dripping down. Another one going towards this third base right now. The Corsair out, taking down this Overlord, and yeah, I mean, everything looking very, very normal this game. I'm kind of scratching my head wondering if it's going to get weird at all, if anyone's going to bring something a bit newer.
Yeah, I like what you're pointing out there. This is about as ordinary of a PvZ as you can get.
Yeah.
I mean,
I feel like I've seen this exact game so many times. You know?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes players try to play outside of these parameters because they're hoping to get some kind of an opportunity with the element of surprise, but there does seem to be a decent amount of respect all around here. We do have Best playing with the B-Stew variation of the fast expand setup with a second gateway on low ground. In case he gets Muta all-in, you can warp in an Archon over there. That's what a lot of the older players still do. It doesn't seem to always be as popular nowadays, but just something kind of fun to point out.
I've seen it a bit more since you kind of pointed it out. I guess like my eyes are trained to see it now, and definitely some players do like to do that. Now the Scourge fly over. Oh, they actually somehow missed that gateway.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. But I think honestly, it's not going to be too much of a big deal. I mean, the Zealots are going to come out here. Eclipse has now been out for so long that everybody's placement is so perfect. Like this setup over here for 815, the Zealots probably can't get in there and do any damage. 815 is indeed going for the Mutas.
Yeah, this delayed Muta has been more and more popular lately, and it looks like they're out exactly in time to kind of catch these Zealots as they come in. A drone drill here on top of that Sunken, screwing up that AI of Best Zealots. But he is targeting down a fair amount of drones here, and we'll get the Sunken as well.
Yeah, moments like this, I wish we actually had a ticker so we could see exactly how many could be were killed off there. But that is that's quite a bit. Now we see Scourge being made behind this, so basically he is interested in doing an Ogre Zerg game remove here, Tastosis.
Ooh, Ogre Zerg Gamer. That's my favorite of all the Zerg moves.
Yeah, this is super abrupt. Now, when you don't see Hydras, you kind of expect this to be coming. You're kind of like, well, I don't see Lings. I don't see anything here. And he's going to go for the Dark Archon. This is so cool.
I love it. If he has Maelstrom up and a bunch of Mutas flying in a pack, 815 is packing his bags and going to the losers match.
Yeah. Now, I would love to be able to check the replay on this for selfish purposes, but I wonder if he actually got that before Storm. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you make this because I think the Melee Storm upgrade is actually pretty quick. Like, I don't think it takes that long to upgrade. I actually should check, but I don't know for sure, but it feels like it's pretty quick. So, if you can just get the 100 energy there and catch the Mutas, you can just kill everything immediately with an Archon.
Yeah, that would be absolutely amazing. But like, if he has both, obviously Maelstrom into Psystorm, the old combo right there would work out perfectly for him as well. Now the Muta's flying in. Oh my God, the Storm is sick.
Oh my God, look at the Templar.
damage.
The Templar's behind the Spire part of the Nexus. I actually didn't see it initially. And that
I
punish
love that you
really
can
worked.
actually hide things like that. It's so silly. And he's dealt so much damage to this already. Oh my God.
The Mutas are going to get out. Oh, hold on. I don't think the upgrade's done. He hasn't actually shown the Dark Archon yet.
Oh, he just saw
did
it
he?
right there.
Oh, man.
Yeah. By the way, it is...
Ooh.
Oh, and there it is. The Maelstrom goes down. Where's his anti-air? He doesn't have time. Where is it?
Ah! Oh, that's
All
nice.
right.
Okay, it works. Wow. All right. What a game.
Yeah. Gets everything there. By the way, I just looked up 63 seconds for Maelstrom to be researched.
63 seconds. That's not that bad.
Yeah.
What is Storm?
Storm?
You have your phone out? I actually don't know how long Storm takes either. All I know is
Yeah.
that not enough time for me to not lose the PVZ sometimes. But
Psionic Storm 75.6 seconds.
75.6. Okay, so a little bit faster than the other upgrades for Maelstrom.
All right, well, Goon's going to kind of zone everything out. There are a lot of Hydras being made now, so obviously A15 going through that switch, but the huge amount of Mutas he made were so ineffective that this feels very best favored right now.
Yeah, I mean, the Hydras come a little bit later. You got to be ready. I think the best is okay. I think he's perfectly fine. You know, you got to appreciate how many Scourge, how much gas was actually spent into Scourge. That you know, after a while, you don't even get that much utility out of. You know, if they don't connect onto a target, then you know, what are you going to do? Especially if you get to the point where there's enough Dragoons out that the Scourge aren't really a threat anymore. So Best has the right idea in mind. You basically just secure the third base, get cannons there, and you know the way the tempo usually works out. Oh man, hold on. Scourge are going to kill these Corsairs. Nicely done. The way the tempo usually works out is the Zerg ends up getting the fourth a little bit later than the Zerg. Then the Protoss takes the third, and so Protoss basically defends the third, makes cannons, and then tries to have a push, a big attack, like 150, 170 supply army.
Yeah, and like it seems like it's going perfectly for Best right now, honestly. Like, I mean, sometimes I look at the mini-map and it's like, okay, well, there is a lot of blue here for 815, but I think the quality of the army that Best has put together is very big. And oh my God, that Maelstrom followed by the Psystorm onto the Hydras.
Wow.
God.
He might even have another Maelstrom over here. It's possible.
Yeah, the Dark Archon diving deep and going down, unfortunately.
And he's doing a pretty good job pushing out here, to be honest. I mean, Zerg's really not taking any successful fights, and I think that really Best is repositioning extremely well. He'll chase, and then he'll immediately pull and hit in another direction, because you know there's going to be Hydras trying to hit you at certain angles where the Templars are lagging behind the rest of the units.
But right now, Best up over 50 supply. His army looks just ridiculously massive. He is coming across, going towards that fourth base, which just finished up. And this is pure Hydra. It's not like he even has lurkers to fudge the math. I cannot see a world in which he can hold this base.
Yeah, pure Hydras are never going to cut it against a truly sophisticated Protoss army with Zealots, Dragoons, Templars, and everything else. And so we got to watch the Psystorms here. Now, the Dragoons are sort of blocking up a lot of the pathing here, making a pretty insane concave here, honestly, for 815. Another really good storm down there at the bottom. And I think as these Zealots trickle through, there should maybe be enough to break this. Do we have another Psystorm? We need the reinforcements to come through here. You know, when you get enough Dragoons, the math gets a little bit fuzzy with, you know, how much you can fight, because the Dragoons do have slightly better range than the Hydras, so you can have a micro advantage here, and we're starting to see that now. And, you know, this game started out textbook, and I think it's going to end in a pretty textbook Protoss victory fashion, where the push on the fourth base wins the game. Something we really talk about a lot more in StarCraft 2, but kind of the straightforward way to win. If your build order worked out, you stayed ahead here in StarCraft 1.
Man, I gotta say, I really appreciate the way that Best played this game. That Dark Archon doing so much more for him than, like, constant Corsair production, for instance. GG. Best's gonna take that down, but yeah, I mean, this is like it feels like everyone that's not a pro gamer is like, dude, the Dark Archon is so good. And then like only Best and like maybe one other Protoss really uses it.
It's a good unit, man. It has a real role. Well, you suddenly see it's a complete counter to that Ogre Zerg gamer play.
Yeah.
But the trick is you gotta hide it. But you know what? You get utility after that. You catch those Hydras and you Psystorm them exactly once and kill everything. And you know what? Usually when you Psystorm Hydras in a block, and if they all die because they were attacking something, you're probably going to start to win in a fight later on. So, I mean, Best played very well. He's always been, I think, more capable of using alternative units than other players, and that game certainly exhibited that.
Yeah, that was an awesome game right there. So congrats to Best, who goes on to that winner's match. 8-15 didn't look bad. He just got caught by the Maelstrom. And that first Psystorm, of course, as well, dealt so much damage to those mutas, really softened them up.
Yeah, a very straightforward victory for Best. I appreciate how safe Best played. He looked at it and said, can I get greedy? Oh, no, that's fine. Let's play probably one of the most straightforward games you can, with the exception of the Dark Archon switch, which he only did because he saw all those mutas come in. Anyways, guys, short break. We come back. Game 2 in Group B of ASL.
디자인하면서 가장 중요하게 생각했던 부분은 울트라 기어의 차별화된 브랜드 메시지를 잘 나타내는 것입니다. 신과 영웅들의 최강의 무기들을 검토하였습니다. 그중 니케의 승리의 날개를 모티브로 지금의 울트라 기어의 로고가 탄생하게 되었습니다. 울트라 기어의 이니셜인 U와 G를 비상하는 날개의 형상으로 레드 색상을 사용하여 강력한 에너지와 힘을 나타내었습니다. 울트라 기어는 최상의 퍼포먼스로 진정한 게임의 즐거움, 승리의 기쁨을 여러분께 선사할 것입니다.
아이시스 8.0을 챙긴다는 건 건강한 생각까지 챙긴다는 것. 나를 움직이는 핑크 에너지. 아이시스 8.0.
어려워도 이렇게 멈추면 내가 아니지. 오늘이 모여 새로운 날을 만든다. 나의 레벨은 다르다. 어나더 레벨 핫6.
이번 주 등산 어때? 등산 캠핑? 그래서 주말엔 낚시?
내가 낚인 거지.
그래도 나오니까 좋잖아.
일상에서 취미까지 나누고 싶은 게 많은 요즘 시대의 커피. 칸타타.
Cannot show the leaves how to change or tell the plants to grow, and I'll never know why my heart chose you to fall for. So give me a reason and I'll pretend I'm in control. Just like the seasons, you're taking the time from me, but no, I don't believe it. This ain't how I thought things would go. Maybe we should leave this and go back. You cannot show the leaves how to change or tell the plants to grow, and I'll never know why my heart chose you to fall for. So give me a reason and I'll pretend I'm in control. Just like the seasons, you're taking the time from me, but no, I don't believe it. This ain't how I thought things would go. Maybe we should leave this.
All right, guys, welcome back. Real quick, we do want to mention the Patreon, patreon.com/ASL English. Thank you so much to everyone who has been subscribing there and helping us to put on this wonderful broadcast and many other things as well, such as the King of the Hill. I know a lot of people have been enjoying that, and we're just going to keep on casting StarCraft 1 until we die of old age.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun for us to kind of go back to our roots. We have other stuff planned out. We can't really... there's going to be more stuff to come if you're a Patreon supporter. So this isn't... I know it's called the AS English, Patreon fund, but really it's for Tastosis casting lots of the highest quality StarCraft that we can get our hands on.
Yeah, and I mean, you don't get much higher quality than what we have here, ASL Season 12.
You can't. So we're going to go to the next best of one here. It's going to be a PvT here on Eclipse. sSak has been, one of these great players in Brood War, who he was also a great StarCraft 2 player, we should point out, but he's never quite outshined the other Terrans, He's very good, but I think he's still trying to push to find his way to the front of the line.
Yeah, he's kind of an interesting Terran, I think, because he's actually one of the only meta trend-setting Terrans other than Flash. Like, this guy actually is credited with a lot of the actual build orders that exist. Like 2 base 7 fact was morphed off of one of his builds. A lot of the 1-1-1 stuff that popped up a couple years ago was based off of his builds. He's a very technical Terran that plays a very different style that a lot of people take things from. To kind of push the metagame forward, such as Flash. Like, he's given sSak a lot of credit for his creativity. So I think sSak is a great Terran, but he's going up against a very strong Protoss in Free.
Yeah, Free is, he's been one of the great Protosses of the past. He's kind of popped in and out of ASLs from time to time. Not with a ton of success, but clearly he's good enough to still be here, which is saying something. But let's see how Free performs here. Free is certainly a player who's not going to have any nerve issues playing on stage again here. I think like a lot of these guys who have been consummate pros, they are completely comfortable, completely natural in this setting. And we're already ready to go into this game, so let's just do it, guys. This is Game 2. Don't forget, the winner of this is going to fight best in the winner's match of Group B in the ASL.
All right, so top right, we have sSak. Bottom left, we have Free. Now, last time we saw Free on this map in ASL, he stole Sharp's gas, walked 3 Zealots by the bunker, and killed him.
That's right.
Yeah, Sharp is a player that does not like his gas to be stolen. Actually, I'm not as aware of how sSak likes to deal with it, because everyone has their own way, Tasteless, that they like to deal with the offensive gas builds or the proxy gate builds.
Yeah,
like every single Terran. It's a very stylistic choice, because honestly, there's like 5 or 6 legitimate things that you can do against it. And it's just whatever you're comfortable with, whatever you're good with, whatever you like the continuations of.
It's funny because in StarCraft 2, there's almost only 1v1 maps, right? So if, StarCraft 1 had followed the map patterning of StarCraft 2, this would be a real issue. But most of the maps in StarCraft 1 are more than, it's like 3-player or 4-player maps. So gas steals aren't as prevalent. But yeah, I mean, it's something every Terran has to know how to deal with. Whether you're like literally an F-rank player or you're an S-rank player, people will take your gas.
Yes, it will always be something that you have to deal with, especially on these 2-player maps. And then, I mean, every now and then you have someone that scouts quick enough on a bigger map that it happens, and you're just like, what? But yeah, let's see here. It looks like Free is just going to go for a Nexus first, which is relatively popular on this map. Now, let's see if sSak actually takes his gas. Because it looks like, yeah, he's going to be going for just a fast expansion himself.
This seems to be what all the pros agree is the best play on this map. We almost never see anybody deviate from Nexus on 12. It's very interesting. I guess with the exception of the game we had with last season with Bisu versus Piano, where he did the proxy. But proxy, of course, is also obviously going to be good on a map with 2 spawns. So the question then is going to be, what kind of game is sSak going to play? But sSak has banked up almost 400 minerals, so I think he could easily just go for a command center. In fact, that's probably what he's just going to do outright. Although I feel like normally we see the barracks on the low ground when this happens, right?
Yeah, well, I think the reason he did it there is because he didn't scout for a proxy. So if Zealots start to come in, then if it's on the low ground, you actually just lose if there's a proxy gate most of the time. So yeah, the thing is you can do a gasless like this, but like generally when you make it on the low ground, that's going to be a 4-player map because it's just going to be a bit more robust in that situation. Either way, he does throw out a Marine, sending that down. I mean, the Marine, like pressuring with the Marine here, I think is pretty good. But obviously, like we were talking about in Group A, you can't really punish this with the gasless expand of Terran.
Now, is it better for Protoss if you both expand at the same time, or does this sort of just put there's a little bit of downtime here? Because it seems like they're both basically going to be okay. I guess a Zealot can pressure, but there should be a third Marine out, which stops one Zealot, right?
Oh, yeah. Like, he's totally fine. When these two builds hit, I normally call it that it's about even. Like, it's slight edge Protoss, because their Nexus is quicker than the 15cc, because it's like a 12 or 13 Nexus. Because you have to build the barracks first, right? No one goes command center first. That's like suicide. But yeah, it's not a big deal, though. It's like very playable as Terran. You have a lot of options of what you can do. You can try to do timing attacks. You can go into a macro play. There's not even ranged goons at your bunker. You don't need quick turrets. So your economy gets pretty big pretty quickly here as well as Terran.
So, obviously there's a couple weird, I don't want to say disadvantages, but features of going for command center first or going for Nexus first. Like, for one, is that the gas is always a little bit later, so the Robo comes out later for the Protoss, so that means the observers are out later, which ultimately means the Protoss doesn't really know what the Terran is going to do exactly. Is there any way for a Terran player to take advantage of that and exploit the Protoss?
Well, I mean, not really, because his stuff is all later too, right? So everything's kind of pushed back the same general amount. So it's just like a bigger economy as if they expanded normally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not likely that he can really do anything right now. I mean, Free is probably just going to produce nonstop off of these two gateways till he gets some intel, and then we'll see how the builds actually match up. But this is a great scout. That's actually, I want to say this is like a little bit unforgivable for Free. You know Terran wants to do this, and the second you sneak in there and you see two gates, a Robo, and range on the way, the amount of things that you can skip as Terran it's like you don't really need any turrets or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
But if you have like a Zealot on the ramp, suddenly you have to start thinking about things like detection.
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, you really can't. Yeah, you're totally right. You can't let them scout you with an SCV like that. Any Terran's going to try it, but the whole point is you need to create ambiguity. And, there are weird forks in fast expand builds that players do where they go like carriers really quickly, we've seen. You can, I don't know what your thoughts are on how strong this is, but skip Robo and go into really fast Arbiters with Observers later.
Yeah, no, I think in this situation you want to get the Observer almost always, because Nexus first, your economy is so big, there's no reason not to get it.
Okay.
Like, I like the cutting corners with a slower expansion, but yeah, I think that Free is having a very solid opening. Both of them are, really. But it's interesting to see what sSak has actually chosen to do here. He actually went for very quick Vulture upgrades off of, like, one siege tank. So it'll give him some more intel, it'll give him some more scouting, he'll slow down this base, which is very nice. Or he just won't kill the probe at all and not slow down the base. That can work, too. So that's... You gotta shake your head at that one.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the end of the world, but, I mean, if you just snap the probe's neck on the way by, you Steven Seagal that probe, then, like, it slows down the Nexus by, like, a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Which is huge. It's huge.
No, I think one of the best ways to trip up a Protoss early is to kill the probe that's going to make the Nexus.
Yeah.
You can't really do that much to deal with
It's crazy.
Vultures.
When you do the math on how that changes the game, it's actually insane, especially if you have the Speed Vultures still alive sitting around, because if you delay it again and then again, it's like, it really, really, really slows down the economy of Protoss. But it's okay. It's not, like, this is not a game-ending thing. It's just like a frustration moment where sSak was not looking at the mini-map right there.
Well, the issue...
but he's thrown down his third command center as well, so it seems like the game's just going to get huge.
Yeah, the issue as well is that even though Dragoons beat Vultures, the Vultures fire faster than the Dragoons. So if you see the probe, you can kill it again and again and again. Before the Dragoons will actually finish it off your Vulture. Yeah.
Well, looks like a shuttle is out. We're going to have some Reaver tech here from Free, some light harassment. sSak, of course, getting his engineering bay. I mean, he has everything going for him as well. He's got a great spread of mines around for some great scouting. He's got a good amount of siege tanks. He's starting to throw down his turrets. And, like, look, these mines are just warning him of the exact path that this is coming on, so he can get into position to defend this relatively easily.
Now he's got to be careful here. If these Dragoons get up here and can take this fight, especially with a shuttle and a Reaver. Okay, very good. He gets the tank up onto the high ground. By the way, these Vultures are going to spill into the natural. Kind of an unforgiving situation here for Free. He should have had that walled off.
Yeah, there's a mine there, but like he still could have walled it off. So that is once again, it's just like Free not blocking certain areas. It's kind of surprising to see at the pro level, honestly.
Yeah, and he's just going to go for it and try to just take out this position over here, and he does a pretty good job of it. But I think the Terran still actually holds.
Yeah, these units come in from the bottom with that nice flank, but more importantly, the SCVs blocking those goons from going up. Beautiful hold. He does lose some SCVs, he does lose a few units, but the Reaver and Shuttle going down, that many Dragoons falling, and the amount of probes he got. I like this game, this position for sSak, honestly, right now.
Oh, sSak's in amazing shape. Getting those probes and then watching the Protoss panic and just running with Dragoons and get stuff blown up. I mean, I think he got 2 tanks, which is okay, but, you know, the Dragoons are valuable. You do want to try to basically not lose any if you can. And the only way you're going to lose them realistically is, unless, of course, you walk into mines, the way you lose them is to siege tanks in siege mode, right? And look, I mean, sSak has basically played past the burdens of the map itself. There is a third base that's been taken over here by him. You know, usually Protoss try to play into punishing the Terran as the third base is taken. Instead, you know, he's got it. He's now going to have this big explosion of factories. Protoss hasn't fully claimed control of the bottom right or the upper left. And usually after the Terran takes a third base, that's basically how the Protoss is going to try to control the game, is by having 2 different sides of the map they're growing into, while still exploiting the 2 platforms towards the center, as well as the pathway, the bridge in the center as well, kind of to the upper left of that, and just try to run around the Terran. But if you don't get there and get those set up in time, Terran's going to have a very easy time pushing.
Yeah, it can be a little bit tough to push if your opponent plays a more laid-back game or a counterattack-based game here as Protoss. And he has the speed shells. I see the Templar archives, but I don't see the Arbiters, right? Yeah, so we see the High Templars starting to pop out. So this game, I think the way that this is probably going to go is Free is putting on that pressure, like you said, expanding in 2 directions. I think he should, like you pointed out, take that the more natural 4th base that's above his 3rd here to make it so that there's 2 areas that sSak wants to attack, and then he can kind of try to grind sSak down with Psy Storms. I think that's a great move for Eclipse.
Yeah, he's got 2 shuttles here. It's pretty typical to see mass speed shuttles used, but this is not the style where there's more than 1 robo. And so basically, I think that has Zealots and then maybe some Templars for Storm Drops. Now, Storm Drops have been pretty popular in this matchup as of late, and I think they are for good reason. You know, the Terran is not going to make medics. They're not likely to repair the SCVs. If you can Storm Drop one of the 2 patches that are available, you can kill a third of their SCVs, literally.
Well, we are having a couple speed shuttles getting ready to get in here, and they definitely will be able to unload some of their cargo. So here we go. They come in, and the Psy Storms start to go down. He's a little bit slow on that, but there you go. That's the one. That is a huge amount of damage.
Yeah. Now, again, he didn't kill all of the SCVs, but a lot of them should be pretty low on HP, and if he plans on Storm dropping again, there's going to be moments where those will pop immediately upon the Storm hitting it.
And he did kill a good amount as well, so definitely sSak's economy hurt a bit, but it's not the end of the game. You don't just insta-lose from that or anything.
Yeah, these Vultures going to come out now, and looking for any opening. I think this is going to be cleared pretty easily. The powering is going to continue on here, though, for sSak. I mean, this is the issue right now, and the push is going to be coming now. Although the bottom right base has been taken, the top left has not. And one thing to point out on this map is there's actually not an extra spot for gateways to be mass-produced. So if you just contain the Protoss, sometimes you win. So there's this weird dilemma.
Oh, yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. Like, if you actually can push the main,
Or just contain the main.
This is probably the only map where I actually go up the ramp into the main personally. Like, because you're right, you can't really fit gateways elsewhere. So that main base is generally your only production point.
Right, and so it's extremely important right now that Free is able to basically hold off this attack or try to counterattack. The problem is that the third base on this map isn't very counterattackable, right? Terran gets pretty comfortable if the game goes on long enough and the Protoss hasn't managed to take up enough of the map.
Now here we go, coming in, a huge siege line, but 3 shuttles coming in and dropping on top of everything. Uh-oh, this engage is very good for Free, not for sSak at all. What is going on here? Those shuttles just eviscerating his army.
I mean, that was insane, dude. I can't believe how well Free handled that. I think perhaps a little bit too comfortable was sSak in this game trying to come forward. I mean, when we saw all those tanks back there and no vultures to try to gun down the zealots that are coming, the tanks are going to wipe each other out.
Yeah, no, you can't really have it like that. And like I was saying, like that's the way to play this map, honestly. You take expansions, you get Psystorm, and you just kind of try to whittle that Terran army down. Now, sSak attacking too quickly, he helps with that. He kind of fed his army into Free. Now, he can still win the game, but it's a much harder position. He doesn't have a 4th base up or anything. His upgrades are a little bit slow. They just finished, in fact, so that was a pretty big anti-timing as well. But now look at Free. He's got 6 speed shuttles ready.
Yeah, he's not losing any of those, and it just becomes difficult for Siege Mode to be used at all. I mean, Siege Mode is kind of funny. Let's not forget, the Terran upgrades do make that splash damage from the siege tanks that much stronger. You know what I'm saying? And so it does cause a problem when you have that many speed shuttles dropping zealots on everything, because if things are sieged up, all the Terran splash is hitting each other, you know?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a lot of times how the Terran army actually ends up dying. Now, it looks like sSak is, like, kind of harassing with vultures up there, but there's enough cannons and goons. He does have to turn around. The amount of speed shuttles that we're looking at and the type of game that's being played, if sSak wants to win this, it's my opinion that he needs to turtle his 4th and basically just kind of cut the map in half as good as possible, because like, he can't attack it again. We saw what happened, and now with 6 speed shuttles around, it's going to look the same if he goes again.
Yeah, I mean, you're completely right, Artosis. By the way, sometimes we see these shuttles in mass used like recall. And I think that's what we're going to have here. He's just going to fly straight through this.
Oh my god, look at this. Okay, he is going. The first shuttle does end up falling. All these turrets only getting 1 as the rest get into the main base. Let's see what's inside. Oh god, some High Templars in here as well. Big Psystorm goes down. So many Zealots in here and targeting down those armories.
Yeah, and getting the armories is a really good idea. I think what Terran has +2 attack, +1 armor, he has to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, this is a great way to play this. It's kind of funny. You can kind of treat it like it's a recall, basically, you know? Only you're just spending minerals on shuttles. But he got in there, he killed that armory. There's actually another armory just to the upper left on our screen. I don't know if he's going to find that, but that would be another great target to get.
Well, right now, he's just got like a couple High Templars, I think, in the shuttles, and he's just trying to buy some time. Look at this spread he has over at that 4th base as well, just sitting on a max supply. Oh, God. sSak is, like, he's pushing forward with pure tank, basically, into an arc that has Storm in it. This game is all but over right now.
Yeah.
Free just smashing.
Oh, my God, that Storm was insane. And, you know, Free, an old-school player, winning with an extremely modern style. And you can see the splash damage just nuking the other tanks. And I think Free, you know, he had a bumpy game throughout this. But honestly, he's controlled the high ground over here, but right there. He's controlled that extremely well. Terran's going to have a really difficult time trying to push up into that. And you're seeing it here right now. I mean, look, he sieges up. Protoss runs back, goes back, and like a fiend just cranks out more units on those gates.
Yeah, his macro definitely on point here, staying up in supply quite a bit, but he might get pushed back a bit more. There are mines behind him, so if he ends up running with this army, he's going to end up losing it, I think. But Now, it looks like he's going to engage. Not the most cost-efficient move there from Free, but bringing up some more shuttles that these Goliaths will try to target down.
Yeah, pretty clumsy play there. Actually, I take it back. Free's, I think sSak's back in this game now after that.
Oh, I think it's still pretty Free favored, even, but that was wasteful from Free. Like, sSak has a chance, though. I would agree. The Free threw away a lot of supply there, kind of for Free, but he should be able to max out quicker than sSak here. sSak is getting his 4th, but the problem on this map, Terran versus Protoss, is trying to get a 5th base. The 4th base isn't that hard to hold once you actually have it. Like, sometimes Protoss contains like that, and it's hard to get, but once you have it, it's all right. It's just, where do you actually take that 5th? It's actually surprisingly hard to take top left, and of course, those bottom right bases are so far away from everything else.
Okay, another attack's coming in here. Now, this almost looks like a PvZ army minus the shuttles, but let's see how the rest of these drops come in over here and how the Terran's going to deal with it. Storm drops. Oh, excuse me, EMP on some of those. Nicely done. But again, you need to have some Dragoons with this army. The Dragoons in the back can do a lot of damage if you're able to pull off the attacks.
Yeah, that was funny because, like, the amount of stuff Free sent in, if I was just like, he sent this much stuff against an unsieged Terran army, Tastosis, what do you think happens? You're like, oh, he probably trades pretty well. But no, it's like only Zealots. So,
yeah,
yeah, if he had 12 goons up there with it, that looks very, very different from what we just saw.
I think a lot of these Protosses, even the really good ones, are not comfortable with just having to control lots of shuttles at once. Like, you're used to always having one shuttle you're going to deal with, even if you've got Reavers in it or you're going to storm drop. That's not hard. But when you have, 6 shuttles and you're trying, and they're flying all over the place, you're trying to basically dive bomb on top of these other armies. Hold on, here comes a big possible storm drop. And he's just not quite fast enough. Oh, that was sick.
That was a lot of SCVs right there. That was like 8 SCVs or something. So he gets one off really well. But sSak continues to hold on. He's still macroing well. Like, he's down 30 plus supply right now. He really, honestly, he has a turtle. The way he's kind of walking back and forth, I hope it's just to kind of counter army movement, because if he tries to attack, it's not going to go well.
Yeah, I think you're probably right about that. Because he still has a Stargate, making an Arbiter and getting Recall and getting Hallucinate might be worthwhile. If you're going to have lots of Templars, you're not really... It's not a strain on you to try to do that, and maybe you could try to Recall into the main, but... I don't know, man. This is pretty rough. This is one of the issues for Protoss, is if Terran gets these top 4 bases. And again, guys, Terran don't need that many bases. The map gives Terran enough bases on this side that they can kind of just run the clock, especially if the top left is never taken. Protoss is basically just going to... They can just sit there. They have no position to try to break in with ease.
Well, this is, other than some of the small engagement things that we've been talking about, like, oh, where's your goons here, and the kind of wastefulness at the 4th base from Free, the only other thing I'm looking at his play that I see as kind of a problem is he's very slow to add his extra expansions. There's, one Vulture at that bottom right base, and that's it for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
He could get another base up, and he's not really putting much effort into it. And now it's back to a maxed out sSak. Now, Free has a bigger bank. He has a lot of splash damage. He can't attack, though. If he just keeps attacking, that's how you really throw this game, because we can see sSak get a very cost-efficient position.
Oh, man. There's no way to get up on this platform. This is such a hard position now for the Protoss. And I think you're right, Artosis. He hasn't really tried to get these other bases that are free. And the thing is, if you don't take those bases and use up the resources, Terran will eventually get them.
Well, if no one gets it, then it's like, okay, well, Terran is down 1 base. That's winnable, But look at this. Coming in now is sSak trying to get an attack off. Psystorms all over the Vultures and the Goliaths.
Oh my God.
Just so much splash damage going down. And sSak, somehow, some way, most of his tanks end up living, but that was pretty efficient from Free overall. He has a lot of goons here. Needs to refill with Zealots right now.
Yeah, the Dragoons are... oh, hold on. He's going to snipe 1 tank and probably back away. Look, if he can refill those shuttles with Zealots, he could just dive bomb this again and probably clear a lot of this out. This is
that's definitely what he should be doing. He's very long gas anyways, so like it definitely does need to be Zealot rounds. He's got a very healthy amount of Dragoons right now.
Okay, here we go. Load him up. Load him up. He's going to dive in here. Now, again, it's been most of the game to build up these tanks. So, if he can get in there in time and just unload and space these out correctly, he's going to be in amazing shape. But he needs to do it fast because Free's about to lose his base over here at the top left.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty darn good here for sSak. Oh, here come those shuttles now, dropping Zealots all over the siege tanks. Where are your vultures? Oh my god, getting so many tanks here for very, very cheap. Great move from Free.
Yeah, now he can pick them back up, and he can do the same thing over here. Now, he's probably going to lose some probes in the process. Here we go, here we go. Big attack coming here. Can he get the Psystorm off? Nicely done. He's got a few more Stormers he could probably cast out here.
And the Zealot's starting to get on top of these siege tanks. It does look like sSak's army going to get cleaned up here once again.
I'm surprised Terran pushed this way. I feel like he should have pushed from his from the upper left. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, like down the ramp, up the ramp?
Yeah, I don't feel like you're ever going to have... I think if you put mines down here, but really your army needs to be somewhere safe because he was eventually able to get over there. But again, these shuttles are really saving the day. It is showing you that you can play without an Arbiter.
Yeah, it is doable. I feel like that's where Terran is supposed to really slow it down, and a lot of Terrans... You know, they get to a point, they're like, no, we have to go try to kill, right? We have the upgrades, we're maxed out. You know, it's hard to get another base. Let's go up and be cost efficient. But against Mass Psystorm, Mass Shuttle, it can be really tough to do. Now, Arbiters are out, Free, up 60 supply. sSak needs to stop attacking. I know I keep saying that, but like, you know, he doesn't have a bank. He's not maxed out. Running vultures around, okay, that's pretty decent, but he is just about out of resources. He's only mining on one base right now.
Yeah, this is getting pretty dire here. Now, he could take the top left, Artie. He could. It's not easy if Terran sets up tanks down there for Protoss to run down that lower ramp. It's not really a comfortable spot. Oh, wow. Okay, is this going to work? He's just going to basically bully his way into this position. Now, the tanks and vultures and even the stasis kind of help the Terran out in a weird way. Unless he can freeze these tanks way in the back, which I think he will.
Oh, wow. My god, that stasis really did it. Now unloading on the rest of the siege tanks here. I think sSak, with reinforcements, might just barely hold this attack, but this is some pretty big damage. Oh god, an Archon in here, some storms as well.
Yeah, I think Terran loses this position. We got to see what happens with the tanks on freeze, though. That's always kind of a funny situation. There's more reinforcements coming. They're going to be caught under a couple mines, but I think they should just be able to sweep past this. Oh, he's going to get the command center. That's a great play.
Oof. Yeah, this is pretty bad for sSak. He's down to 75 supply. But honestly, Free is not mining that much here. Like, look, even his bottom right base is almost mined out. So really, it's that fourth base that is the rest of his income. We do have the CC from the third that flew to the top left, but he just scouted that. So honestly, you should just fly that back to your fourth because that's more defendable position.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Free's basically won this game. He's still mining. He's actually still mining from that bottom right base. There's not a lot there, but it's enough. And if I'm Protoss, take top left, take bottom right, either or.
Yeah, well, the bottom right base is so easy to hold and hard for Terran to defend up here mining and then also go down there. He's going to lose his command center. It's going from bad to worse. sSak is basically not mining at this point.
Okay, so I mean, I think Terran just kind of dries up. Sometimes PvTs end, they sort of slow down like this to a crawl for the Terran, where the Terran has to basically look around and say, all right, can I get anything anywhere? The final play is to float a CC up to this area he's long distance mining from. Is he doing that? I don't see a command center moving anywhere. Oh, there is. It's from
his main CC is very, very slowly going up there right now. But yeah, I mean, this should not be doable, especially when you look at what they have left. It's like you have 2 Science Vessels as your spellcasters against Arbiter Psystorm. It's like, okay, yeah, this is... Not only does Free have more and is mining more and has more supply, his spellcasters are going to be a bit better in this situation as well.
The time is running out here for sSak. This is again probably one of the slower ways to end a game, but I guess basically Free. And by the way, Free needs to be careful. He could end up screwing this up as he comes forward here if he overextends. But if he just breaks through this like he's done before, this game ends outright. He needs to get the right stasis. He needs to unload, and then he needs to basically blanket this with storms. And here we go. So Psystorms
some EMPs going down here as well. The Psystorms being spread very nicely. sSak is going to GG,
wow.
And Free goes to that winner's match.
What a game.
Definitely a wild game there.
Yeah, that game was something else, Arctosis. I got to say, that was pretty insane. sSak played well. I think he... I don't know. I don't know what your thoughts are. I feel like you really got to turtle up if you start to see them go in shuttles. After that third base, you really got to be careful moving out.
Well, sSak's attack, the very first attack, if you remember, it was like over the high ground in the center. Where he lost everything. That was not a well-done attack. Like, when they have Psystorm and shuttles, you have to be so careful and so slow with your pushes because they clump up like that naturally. And, I mean, as soon as they start getting storms off and they blow up your first 20 tanks so cheaply, it's very hard to come back from that.
I mean, there's just not a lot you can do, right? Okay, guys. Well, we've got a PvP coming up. And, I mean, I think Best wins that, right? Right?
Yeah, right? I think Best is favored, but Free is not bad PvP.
Yeah, PvP is a tricky one, too.
Like, this could be a good game. Yeah, and it's a best of 1, so who knows?
Yeah, let's see what happens, guys. sSak is not eliminated. He'll be in the losers match, playing against 815. We're going to have a little break, guys, and when we return, that winner's match, don't go away.
어려워도 이렇게 멈추면 내가 아니지.
오늘이 뭐야?
새로운 날을 만든다. 나의 레벨은 다르다. 어나더 레벨 핫6.
울트라 기어로 선명하게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
숙취 요즘 누가 저렇게 깨니? 맨날 똑같은 거, 맛없는 거 깨. 이제 탄산으로 깨. 숙취 해소의 새로운 기준. 가스감. 환도 역시 가스감이 대세.
양념 툭툭. 올리브유 또르르. 우와. 그리고 제로. 너무 좋다. 맛은 배로, 칼로리는 제로. 칠성사이다 제로.
Don't you waste another tear. Don't you stand and run away from life. All that you can hear is shouting. It's time for rising up. It's time for rising up. It's time for rising up. It's time for rising. For rising up. It's time for rising. It's time for rising up. It's time for rising. It's time for rising up. It's time for rising. It's time for rising up. It's time for rising up. Rising up. It's time for rising up. It's time for rising up. It's time for rising. For Don't you waste another tear. Don't you stand and run away from life. Oh, you can hear it shouting. It's time for rising up. It's time for rising up. It's time for rising up. It's time for rising. Oh, rising up. It's time for rising. It's time for rising up. It's time for rising. It's time for rising up. It's time for rising. It's time for rising up. It's time for rising up. Rising up. It's time for rising up. It's time for rising up. It's time for rising. Oh, rising up. Voices call inside your head. Remember all the words you said. Look inside and you will find the strength to carry through it. So I say never give up, never give in. I want you to do something right, do it to win. Indestructible, yeah, indestructible.
Welcome back, guys. We have the winners match now. It's going to be Best against Free. The map going to be Revolver, Best vetoing Ascension, and Lemon being kicked out by Free. Wonder how many games we're actually going to see on Lemon this season. Not too sure about that.
I don't think we're going to have a lot, Artosis. I think it's going to
no,
be...
not too many.
I think we're going to have very awkward cast when we finally do get to talk about it.
Yeah.
So... yeah, man. I mean, let's just see what kind of games we're gonna have here, and I do think Best is basically much better at PvP here than pretty much all the Protosses in the world. I think Mini was really smart when he just really hardcore 2-gate proxied him. 2-gate proxy is as strong as it is against Terran, and as strong as it is against Zerg. It is even stronger against other Protoss players. So I don't think we saw Best real PvP potential here. I want to see what happens in the season, and I think this is going to be a nice appetizer. One of the expensive appetizers on the menu, Artosis. Sometimes it's better than the main entree for PvP here. Right. And let's see what happens, guys. Best versus Free. And again, who knows? Free could win. PvP can be a real tricky matchup.
And here we go. In the top left, our red Protoss player going to be Best. And in the bottom right, it's Free. And one thing I want to mention, why I was kind of saying, like, oh, I think Free can win. He's pretty good PvP. I recently casted for my Artosis Cast YouTube channel the Caster Muse StarLeague Season 4. And Free actually won the tournament 4-3 over Best in the finals. And they were some rockin' PvP.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, no, it was close. It was really, really close right down to the end, and Free ended up taking it. So, like, definitely doable, but I do agree with your assessment that Best is like real good PvP if he gets going.
Yeah, he's just he's got a very good handle on the race in general. He's a fun guy to watch. I feel like if you're not a Protoss player, you're probably still a fan of Best's games.
Yes.
You know, he's just
I can attest to that.
He's got a very fun approach. Kind of like Sharp is just fun to watch, even if, you know, I'm not as much of a student of Terran. I can watch him and really enjoy seeing what he's going to try to do. I think Best gives those vibes out as well.
Yeah, he's like one of the good guys too.
He's one of the good guys.
It's just like, yeah, he's one of the good guys. There's definitely good guys and bad guys. Like, I mean, can we just get that out of the way, Tasteless? Like, you know that there is good and evil within StarCraft.
I feel
right?
like I'm evil. Is this correct? Am I one of the good guys?
Tasteless. I mean, as a caster, you're one of the good guys, but you're like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, man. Every time I tune into your stream, you're proxy gating. So, you're both. You're a good guy and a bad guy, right? You're the chaotic neutral
and then
or something.
You're
whereas
just good
I'm
guy caster, good guy player.
Dude, I am like the nobleman martyr of Terran. All right, like I am ultimate good. I'm the patron saint that you pray to and stuff. Okay,
the patron saint of honorable play.
Yes, that's right. And Best is that for Protoss. Okay,
that's so funny. By the way, we've got cross spawns, gas opening builds. I don't think 2-gate's particularly strong on this map at all. I don't think there's much.
Yeah, the rush distances, I think, are a little bit long for that.
Yeah, even though a lot of 2-gate builds, you don't really lean in too hard to the rush. You need to basically create enough of a threat, and that requires a shorter distance. So this is similar to a lot of these 4-player, 4-corner maps where the ramp isn't disgustingly big, and you're on the high ground, so you can tack up, and so we have those kind of games.
Well, Zealot popping out here for Best. And kind of safe in that regard. We didn't actually see a Zealot for free, did we? He just kind of skipped that altogether.
Yeah, that is... you get a few extra probes out. Maybe like 1.5 or 2 probes out a little bit more quickly if you skip the Zealot, but things become very difficult if you are dealing with a rush. But I think it's a smart move by Free.
Yeah.
So he'll
well, I like in a matchup like this, Tasteless, where it can be hard to get edges.
Yeah.
I really like that type of edge. And look at this. He gets the very quick Dragoon out and throws down the Citadel the second the probe gets out of range.
Yeah, and this is pretty strong. When you get the Dragoon out earlier than the Zealot like that, or without a Zealot is what I mean to say, you can kill the probe off, so you can rush into DTs more quickly. And we have DT tech over here from Best. Now, I don't know if we're going to get on camera. Okay, there we go. Perfect.
God.
He is going to get range with this. This is a very big difference in builds.
Oh. Yeah, so if you're getting range, can you, not afford as many DTs?
No.
Does it work out?
Doesn't affect the number of DTs you get at all.
Okay.
Basically, if you don't get range, you get the DTs out a little bit more quickly, right? If you skip the range, you can see here with Free, you get the Nexus out a little bit more quickly. He's basically got 2 Dragoons placed such that a probe can't scout or can't even get near him at all. The problem is we need to see if there's going to be a Forge. You don't have to get a Forge. You can play DT and just really be greedy and cut corners.
Yeah.
And treat it like, well, I'm going to play not only are you not going DT, you're going Robo or not that, and I'm going to, win on multiple fronts here. But Free has faked him out pretty well. Now, it's also 2-gate versus 1-gate. Again, we need to go back and see if there's a Forge. There is a Forge.
So Free is getting the Forge, and I'm not surprised, right? Because he's skipping range and getting the Nexus, so it feels more likely that he'd get it. Does this mean that Best just dies?
We got to see. There's a couple things that would say maybe not. If he goes 4 DTs or 3 DTs, he can send the 2 DTs across the map, then block his ramp. And so that's the build order fork where...
But this is an egged ramp, so you can kill the eggs and walk through.
That did not even occur to me. That's so funny.
Yeah.
I'm a StarCraft caster, and I yeah, that's true, and DTs kill the eggs immediately. Yeah, I would think Best just loses here. Now, I also want to point out the player that goes 2-gate in this situation can sometimes just rush up the ramp with the DTs while his Dragoons and Zealots take damage. So setup is also important here. But this means that the DTs are 100% going to get inside best base. So I think Free just gets a build order win, all to the fault of... yeah. All right.
GG.
That's what I call a game of StarCraft.
Dude, I got to tell you what, man. I was going to talk some shit on PvP, but this game really, it gained my respect.
Yeah.
Okay? What a match.
What a game that was. I love it. Everybody's had this game as a Protoss player where you win, you're like, I guess you didn't get detection. You're never playing hoping that, I just hope he doesn't have this, but when he gets there, and I think, best, maybe this is a bad call to have in a best of one. Do you really want to do the build where if he just opened up a certain way, you lose? I don't think so.
Well, that's what we just saw, and based on the last 4 PvPs I've seen from Best, he's terrible.
Yeah,
he's
this
lost
is
them
weird.
all instantaneously.
Well, I just don't understand.
He's had a bad run lately on it, man.
He's not winning. And that's what counts, man. I mean, Free kind of shaking his head like, I can't believe this. Well, we're going to go to an interview with Free. He is the unexpected first-place survivor, escaping the round of 24, moving on to the round of 16, leaving our other 3 players to fight over that last spot. Let's see how he's feeling.
ASL 시즌12 24강 비조 경기 함께하고 계십니다. 오늘의 첫 번째 16강 진출자 윤용태 선수 만나보겠습니다. 축하드립니다.
감사합니다.
한 시즌을 쉬고 돌아오셨는데 이렇게 가장 먼저 조에서 16강으로 진출하셨습니다. 사실 경기 전 인터뷰 때 컨디션이 막 그렇게 좋아 보이시지 않아서 내심 좀 걱정을 했거든요. 경기 안에선 전혀 그런 모습이 안 보였는데 16강 진출 조지명식으로 향하는 기분이 어떠신가요?
일단 오늘 좀 올라가면 기적이라고 생각했거든요, 제 자신이. 그만큼 제가 좀 경기력에 자신이 없었고 앞에 한 말 다 허세였는데 약간 허세대로 좀 올라가게 돼서 그래도 기분은 좋은 것 같아요.
최호선 선수와 도재욱 선수까지 제물로 삼고 결국에 가장 먼저 16강으로 올라가셨습니다. 오늘 경기 내용으로만 봤을 때 윤용태 선수 스스로는 좀 만족을 하실 수 있을 것 같거든요.
저는 근데 생각보다 제가 뭐 이렇게 잘했다기보다도 좀 운이 좋았던 것 같아요. 1경기도 마지막에 좀 이제 치열하게 이제 제가 못 밀었으면 졌을 텐데 이거 만약에 못 밀고 졌으면 이제 시청자분들이 상당히 욕을 하지 않았을까 생각하면서 마지막에 들어갔거든요.
네.
근데 좀 운이 좋게 이겼고 두 번째 재욱이랑 할 때도 좀 생각지도 않게 프로브가 거기 있길래 그냥 앞마당에 프로브가 포토를 지으려고 준비하는 것 같아서 설마 이거 다크인가? 주지로 치길 와 이런 폴이 있나? 좀 운이 좋지 않았나.
네.
네.
결국에 도재욱 선수의 앞마당을 딱 확인했을 때 캐논을 지을 때 좀 이건 이겼다라는 생각이 드셨을 것 같아요.
이게 아까도 말했지만 그 프로브가 원래 보통 포토를 짓기 전에는 거기에 프로브를 안 둬요. 그래서 프로브 위치 보자. 이거 다크구나. 웃을 준비해야겠다.
웃을 준비해야겠다.
이게 제가 빌드를 그냥 자리 보고 정한 거거든요. 그냥
네.
그냥 딱 끼리 꽂혀서 다크를 했는데 한 100만 년 만에 다크로 이겨본 것 같아요.
최우선 선수의 경기에서는 사실 정말 교전의 윤용태 선수다운 좀 그런 모습을 볼 수 있었어요. 중간에 최우선 선수가 조금은 예측하기 어려운 타이밍에 타이밍 러시를 한번 센터 쪽으로 갔어요. 근데 그때 셔틀로 다수의 셔틀로 후방에 있는 탱크를 많이 잡아내셨어요. 사실 병력 수에서 윤용태 선수가 살짝은 밀리는 감이 있었는데 그때의 교전 어느 정도 예상을 하셨었나요?
사실 최우선 선수가 오지 않더라도 제가 뭐 셔틀로 좀 흔들려는 플레이를 했을 텐데 제 생각에는 호선이가 저한테 뭐 스캔을 뿌려본다든지 해서 유닛이 좀 적다는 걸 알고 셔틀에 있는 유닛을 몰랐던 것 같아요. 그래서 나오는 거 보고 땡큐 하고 먹었어요.
결국에 교전에서 좀 화려한 플레이를 보여주면서 윤용태 선수가 이렇게 12번째 시즌에 16강으로 오르게 됐습니다. 손목 관리만 잘 하신다면 조지명식에서 이어서 16강에서도 좋은 모습을 보여주실 수 있을 것 같은데요. 이번 시즌 좀 어떻게 내다보고 계시나요?
사실 뭐 예선 신청할 때도 되게 고민을 많이 했거든요. 이게 좀 다 민폐인 것 같고 제가 좀 손목이 아프다 보니까 뭔가 준비도 잘 못하다 보니까 저한테 좀 실망을 많이 할 것 같아서 네, 뭐 이왕 이렇게 제가 16강까지는 올라왔으니까 앞으로도 더 기적의 스토리를 쓸 수 있도록 열심히 준비해 보겠습니다.
윤용태 선수의 시즌 12의 스토리 기대해 보도록 하겠습니다. 승리 축하드립니다.
네, 감사합니다.
자, 이렇게 해서 ASL 시즌 12 24강 B조에서 가장 먼저 16강에 진출한 윤용태 선수와 함께 이야기 나눠봤습니다. 저는 잠시 후에 오늘의 두 번째 진출자와 함께 돌아오겠습니다.
이렇게 좋은 날엔 홈캠핑이지. 홈캠핑엔 고기, 고기엔 칠성사이다. 맛있는 자리에 빠질 수 없는 청량함.
완벽하네.
칠성사이다.
울트라 기어로 부드럽게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
야채 착착, 당토 톡톡, 아보카도 슥슥, 그리고 제로. 이렇게 맛있다고? 맛은 배로, 칼로리는 제로. 칠성사이다 제로.
힘들어도
어려워도 이렇게 멈추면 내가 아니지.
오늘이 보여.
새로운 나를 만든다.
나의 레벨은 다르다. 어너더 레벨 핫6.
아이시스 8.0을 연다는 건 조금 이른 아침을 연다는 것. 나를 움직이는 핑크 에너지. 아이시스 8.0.
There's no way home, and I have no mercy. There's no way up, so I'm going down. Still I keep on living, so you pull me closer. When I have no mercy. Let's carry on. No reasons to stop it. I wouldn't do it on my own. I can't deny it. Still trying to build and trying to be. When we
Welcome back, everyone. It's time to eliminate one of the two players in Group B in the losers match. 8-15 versus sSak. Best awaits the survivor of this match. And I've got some interesting news. Lemon is going to be our map.
What? I actually thought we might not even see it in this round, honestly, because everyone's been vetoing. But they both veto Ascension. That's kind of interesting.
Tastosis?
Yeah.
Where did you go?
Do you not hear me?
All right, guys.
Oh, hello,
yeah,
hello,
you're back.
hello. Sorry. But I don't know what happened there. Fix that up. Now, this is Lemon, guys. Yeah, you got two geysers in your main base, and it's like very small and very weird. Oh, look at this. We're checking out the Wi-Fi. Which Wi-Fi should we go on to?
This is chaos at the start of the show.
Oh my God, just technical hiccups everywhere. But yeah, okay, so Lemon, I haven't seen games on this map. I think this is going to be insane.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be like probably cheesy aggression from 815 and probably mech from sSak. I would be incredibly surprised if he doesn't go mech here. And like the thing is, sSak is very good at mech plays. He's good at 1-1-1s. I feel less confident in his bio play than anything else, and especially on a map with extra geysers like this, there's almost just no reason to go Marines, right?
Right. No, I think it makes much more sense to go mech.
Yeah. Anytime you can have like 3 fast geysers, I guess the natural doesn't really have a geyser, so maybe you just count it as like a normal map in that regard. But I don't know. We'll see. I haven't really seen games on the map, honestly.
Yeah,
it's not a map I've been hunting down.
This is going to be one of I think our more exploratory casts, right? Like we haven't had a lot of games on it. We haven't seen that many games on it, so I think we just wait and see what sort of game these two players are going to give us. Again, a lot of pressure, man. It's the losers match. The person who dies out on Lemon is eliminated from the ASL. Let's go. When life gives you lemons, play the losers match.
That actually kind of works.
Yeah. You got to make lemonade out of this map, my friend.
Look at the amount of
these
patches
minerals
there, man.
make me want to throw up.
Dude, this really looks like a very poorly made version of BGH.
Yeah.
You remember,
Your
like,
base
way
starts out
back,
with a grill
like 20
in its
years
mouth?
ago? Yeah.
Why do their mineral patches have braces, Tastosis? What's going on here?
Look how far apart his eyes are, man.
Dude, it's a 4-pool. It's a 4-pool.
Are you kidding me?
Not even a 5-pool. A 4-pool.
Not even a 5-pool, he says. Not even the macro version of the 4-pool, the 5-pool.
Yeah, not even the one where you get the extra drone and the lings are a little bit later.
No.
But at least you have more mining.
Well, let's see what sSak wants to do here. Oh, God. Okay, so sSak is going to build things down the ramp.
It's never good, is it?
Okay, yeah, he's going to make a wall here. Okay, so basically,
he's gonna die.
This is really, really bad for sSak. I think he's going to be instantly eliminated. What was the map Overwatch, I want to say? Or, no.
No.
God,
it was
that blue map, that 2-player...
Was it 2-player? I thought it was Optimizer that this happened to, like, Light or somebody like that.
Oh, yeah, no, that happened too. That's true. Yeah. Light lost to a 4-pool there as well. But basically, any map where you wall like this, a 4-pool can actually kill you. The wall stops all the other pools except for the 4-pool, basically. Maybe the 5-pool breaks it too. But, like, for instance, a 9-pool, no problem. You stop it dead with this.
Yeah.
But the 4-pool gets in there and you can't finish the second depot.
And again, I mean, it should be the most obvious thing ever. But again, if this doesn't work out and the Terran survives, then the Zerg is in economic hell. But he gets the first scout, which is fortunate. So the Lings can get here as quickly as possible. And yeah, man.
This is just proof, Tastosis, that there's good and evil in StarCraft. Like, poor sSak here plays a huge macro TVP on Eclipse, and here he is, getting caught by a 4-pool, getting scouted first by the Overlord. Here come the Lings. sSak's gonna see him.
Oh my God, in his face.
And that's like, it didn't even finish. There's 0% to win. That's it. Like, if it finishes, you have a little bit of a chance.
Yeah. And there's more and more Lings being made here, and 815's doing a good job basically splitting this off and letting these Lings...
Look at how much he's... Oh, my God. Tastosis, he's killing so much. And you have to run these now because you need to bring them back because now the Lings turn around to get the Marine, but the SCVs have to be there at the moment the Marine pops out to displace
also the placement here, I think,
is
is one where this Marine just... Oh, he pops out on the other side. That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
He's actually making a bunker.
That's really smart, though.
The bunker up high is kind of smart.
Yeah, the bunker is brilliant. Yeah, like he could float his command center over there. If he can actually finish that and get that in... Dude! Oh
this
my
is
God.
Crazy.
Yeah! He needs to float his CC over here. There is a tiny chance that he wins.
I can't believe this. He hasn't lifted his CC
I can't believe
yet,
he got that up.
What's he doing?
Yeah. No, he definitely needs to lift the CC. I'm really confused that he hasn't done that yet. But you know what? Lift it. What are we doing? Like, what is
what
this?
are you waiting for?
Why are we not lifting?
I want to pull my hair out. I want to rip my beard off right now.
Dude, what the hell am I even looking at? Why are the SCVs coming back?
Why does he not just
what
land there
going
with
on?
Oh my god.
And now Lings will just come up and flank
What
the
is he
bunker. His
doing?
SCVs aren't there to repair.
You're a Terran player.
What?
Your buildings can fly and move. What am I watching?
I have no idea, Tasteless. It doesn't even make sense.
All right, well, that was almost
I
interesting.
thought that was the whole plan, is you float the CC down, and, like, that could have turned into a game. It's possible.
Well, I think there's 2 ramps to that.
815 was probably going to win anyways, but, like, come on.
There's 2 ramps to that, right?
Yeah.
So maybe the Ling, he has the bunker there, but the Lings can just run in and kill the SCVs anyways. I don't know. 815.
Yeah, well, I mean, it would have been very micro-intensive and stuff, but 2 Marines, I mean, there's a chance because the economy is so poor for Zerg, too, but anyways, 815 caught him. I thought it was a brilliant bunker that he tried, and then he just, like, the follow-up wasn't there, but okay, well, this is a disappointing tournament for Terran so far, Tasteless.
It's true, man. These Terran... Hey, man, the PvP wasn't very good so far, Tastosis.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
That is, yeah, you were
talking about that on break. I'm like,
wait, what are you talking about? That was a great PvP.
I was like, best
Tasteless.
when cross spawns, just win DT without detection. Like, is that what you're gonna do? Are these the choices you're making with your tournament career? I don't know. 815 wins. sSak is out, and I'll tell you, man, you got to keep in mind it's a rule as old as the game itself. Watch out on new maps. Zergs can always 4-pull you. Don't get too fancy.
Okay.
Play safe. We got a quick break,
All right.
guys. We'll be right back.
울트라 기어로 부드럽게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
함께 모이면 홈파티. 홈파티엔 먹방. 먹방엔 칠성사이다. 맛있어. 맛있는 자리에 빠질 수 없는 청량함. 칠성사이다.
퇴근하고 뭐해?
퇴근하고 오늘은 유셰프, 내일은 유러너, 주말은 유목수.
그걸 다?
본캐부터 부캐까지 하고 싶은 게 많은 요즘 시대의 커피. 칸타타 콘트라베이스.
디자인하면서 가장 중요하게 생각했던 부분은 울트라 기어의 차별화된 브랜드 메시지를 잘 나타내는 것입니다. 신과 영웅들의 최강의 무기들을 검토하였습니다. 그중 니케의 승리의 날개를 모티브로 지금의 울트라 기어의 로고가 탄생하게 되었습니다. 울트라 기어의 이니셜인 U와 G를 비상하는 날개의 형상으로 레드 색상을 사용하여 강력한 에너지와 힘을 나타내었습니다. 울트라 기어는 최상의 퍼포먼스로 진정한 게임의 즐거움, 승리의 기쁨을 여러분께 선사할 것입니다.
At the end of the day, it all begins to start. I want the stars to break like windows in the glass. Let the light escape and take me away to the land I dream to stay. I wander far away.
I like these colors. I'm digging this Tastosis. This looks like my streaming room, man. Gamer purple is going on in the studio.
Gamer purple. Oh, tasteless. That's not purple, my friend. That is lavender.
That is gamer lavender is what they call it. Lavender is pink for boys. Yes. All right. Well,
there he is, Tastosis. It's good versus evil this game.
This is good versus evil.
Four-pooler against
Listen,
best.
I'm a Protoss
the best
player. I
without
can
a
get behind the
championship.
four-pooler being pure evil. And he's going up against the honorable Protoss. Best. I will say, though, 815 didn't blow me away in that game on Eclipse. It looked like a pretty solid, S-rank Zerg, but, this is ASL. Congrats on beating sSak with the 4-pull. That is what Zerg can do sometimes, certainly if the Terran decides to go for a macro opening like that. But let's see what Best has in store for us. I did not catch the map, did you?
It is going to be Largo.
Largo, okay.
Largo, yeah. So Polypoid was vetoed by Best, and 815 got rid of Goodnight.
So, yeah, man, let's see what happens with these two guys, man. Best and 815 duking it out right now. Again, Best is supposed to move on, but if 815 wins, it's insane.
Yeah, that would be a wild player to go on to the next round. But let's see how it goes down. Here we go.
Here we go.
Best of one. Here we go.
Here we go. It's on the Ninja Star map.
It is on the Ninja Star map. So we have Best in the bottom right, and in the bottom left we have 815 already making a drone.
Look at you.
Already making that 5th drone.
Mr. Economy over here. I bet he's going to mine from all of those patches, Tastosis.
Possibly. It could be.
It'd be really funny if you just made it 5-pull. We're like, oh, okay. No, never mind.
Well, do you think he should cheese Best or try to play a macro game?
It's a good question. I'm not so sure. What he did in that last game, you can kill the Protoss outright. It was interesting to see, actually, the way Best handled the game on Eclipse. Now that I've had some time to think about it, he stopped at 2 Corsairs. And a lot of the idea with the Ogre Zerg gamer play, where you just try to clobber them with Scourge and then win with Mutas, is that you're hard countering the Muta counter. So you're hard countering Corsairs. You end up with enough Scourge that you just kill the thing that's supposed to counter the Mutalists, which is the Corsairs, and then you win the game. But Best played around it and just made a bunch of cannons and then didn't make any Corsairs and then made the Dark Archon, and it was kind of crazy how it worked. Initially, I was thinking about how it didn't work, and then I thought, well, how could it have worked? There was nothing really to fight, right? He didn't have that many Corsairs back there, right? Am I making that up?
He had 3.
3, okay.
I want to say 3. It could have been 2, but I think it was 3.
And Best going to go with the Forge opening. Bringing back the Forge style. We should point out there is a game, a shift in the meta now. Since Mini has kind of wowed everybody with, cheating to get the how do I say it, cybernetic score out quickly. Oh my god, hold on, he's gonna cannon rush. Hold on.
Is he really?
Yeah, this works.
Okay, well, let's see how well practiced he is against this, because popping drones over is actually not very hard, and if you get, like, 2 drones over, you kill the probe very quickly.
It depends on the patch, man. The trick is, you put the pylon there as kind of like a filler.
And it makes them pop back out. Look at that.
Yeah, that's
and now
trick.
the cannon goes up. Oh, that is a little bit difficult. Do you just cancel the hatch here?
I don't know. I think you basically the step 2 of this is to throw down cannons right when this finishes. The creep is gonna fill up the area pretty quickly. You need to basically get this probe on the side over here that's being body blocked. You need to get him in there fast and throw down a bunch of cannons. So here he goes. He is gonna.
Oh, he's actually blocking any sunken colonies from coming up.
Correct.
Because I think that was the idea, is he wanted multiple sunks to start, but he blocks some of them, throws down another cannon. Now, I don't think you're going to save this as 815.
Well, I don't know. Did Lynx fit back here? There's a lot at play right now.
Yeah.
Keep in mind that a sunken colony loses 100 hit points from the 400 it has as a creep colony. So, do these Lynx get back here? Okay, they do. Granted, it's not very comfortable back here. He needs to target the sunk. Okay, he's actually, I think, still going to save the hatch. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, okay. Is this why we just don't see cannon rushes, or was that good enough?
Well, to be honest, Tastosis, I mean, if you want, just from my perspective, this is why I started doing the gate build. Was like, I just found that, like, I mean, people like to joke about it, like, Jesus, you love the cannon rush, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, I didn't know how to do it like everybody else, but like,
well, you were good at cannon rush chases. You had some very gross ones.
I had some good cannon rushes, but like,
not anymore.
Not anymore. No. Now I tried, and I'm like, I don't know. They just seem to stop it. Like, I don't know if this is worthwhile. But yeah, I've had the same experience as we saw here. I found that if you brought another probe with this, it was like, okay, maybe it's gonna work, but now, like, what are we doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now we're in this like weird city builder fight, trying to end the game. But you know, I mean, you do kill drones with this. I would imagine the Protoss comes out on top, right? I think.
After that, honestly, I'm not sure. Like, he forced 2 sunks, a drone died, some lings were made, but everything from Protoss is really slowed as well. So I honestly, Tastosis, I'm really not sure who's ahead after that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry, Tastosis. I wish I had an actual answer for you, but this is confusing for me too.
I'm not.
I was gonna say before this rush started. Sorry to run over you, but before this rush started, like, a lot of players, to punish the gate first, will do these pretty powerful ling all-ins where they'll try to just tear down the gate and kill you. So I was wondering if maybe Best was playing around that by just going back into Forge.
Yeah. It could be, like, turn the meta on its head a little bit. If 815 is out there practicing against, Gateway expands and you're bringing Forge expands, you're already at an advantage for sure.
Yeah.
But as is, like, he has a Zealot on the map. It does look like it's going to be like a Hydra Bust build. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, the probe is actually going to get up and see the Hydra.
Oh, this is insane. How does this probe dodge that? I can't believe it.
Yeah, it took the 1 hit and slipped up, and now he sees it, and it's like, okay, well, I mean, do you even continue with the Hydra Bust? Look at this. He builds the Forge in the main base now because he's like, yeah, that's going to get shot down.
Does he cancel the upgrade then? Yeah, I guess that's what he does. Huh. I'm learning.
Yeah, may as well.
Yeah, it makes sense. I guess he's just going to go for the Hydra Bust. To be honest with you, I do feel, and this is not a knock on 815 or even a knock on Cheese, but I feel like 815 is looking at the fact that he's here and basically banking on the most gotcha plays ever.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We saw Ogre Zur Gamer in game 1 that was like completely sidestepped in a way that I was just pretty impressive, and then a 4-pull wins, and now, I mean, tell me a rush that's really better than this. This rush has been around forever, and pros still lose to it. So I'm not surprised. It's also great to follow up after failed cannon rush. Hydra Bust is quite strong, I think.
Well, he's already got the Forge in his main base. He's getting up to 4 cannons right now, 5 cannons now. It doesn't seem like there's any real possibility of this working. In fact, 815 not really making anymore. He already has that Hydra speed upgrade. He can knock down some buildings, but honestly, I don't think Best really cares. And he's scouting this out. He might even cancel his cannons. Like, I don't think you need the 5th one there.
He's basically looking to confirm there's no more Hydras hatching here. You're probably right. He probably doesn't need 5 cannons, right? But, you know, let's see how he plays the rest of this game out. The thing is, like, again, another beautiful sidestep, honestly, here from Best, where he saw, this is at the bare minimum, this is the build where they get Hydra range and shoot down the Forge. That's a different tech than just getting Hydra speed immediately and trying to just run up and kill all the cannons. And so he says, all right, well, obviously you're not going to beat me with this. Now let me just cancel my upgrade, make my Forge somewhere else, and play that game out. Beautiful play.
Yeah. And he's actually got a very quick robo with this as well. So is he just kind of expecting that this will go into a quick lurker to try to keep 815 alive?
He'll probably drop a DT in the main. If they if they go for the quick Hydras, the Spire, you can see that just started. You end up, it's also funny, you end up with this excess gas because you had to make cannons, which could have been gateways. And so you're not spending resources like you think you are, so you have the extra gas for the robo, so you make that. In this spawn, with this configuration, the way the bases are set up, he'll probably drop 1 DT into the main. That's what the Corsair is looking for, is to see if there's an Overlord in the scouting path. And then he'll...
Yeah, the Corsair does wipe through there and sees the Spire making, but I think you're right about this, Tasteless. The DT drop looks so powerful here.
Yeah, I might be wrong, but you know, I've seen Rain do this before in previous ASLs, and you know, the more I look at it, the more it just sort of makes sense. It gives you counterplay. The Zergs oftentimes don't. Yeah, here it is. They don't have. Where is he going? He didn't have the DTs in there. Did he put DTs in there?
No, I don't think he did.
Oh,
he's just sending the shuttle over to the side. Maybe it's going to be a High Templar drop with the DTs just walking out?
Oh, no, he's going to have the DTs clear this out. Okay, this is smart. He's, like, really good.
Oh, Scoutlings.
Yeah. So he's going to kill this with the DTs, and then he picks it up, and then he's going to drop it.
Yeah, because there's no noise for that, just so people know if you're, like, not that up to it. If anything dies in one hit, you don't get a sound for it. And, yeah, he scouts that, so...
But basically, if they go for this build, they don't have an Overlord in the main. Except this guy does. He's a good player, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, it looks like that has been found. Nice chasing of it. I'm sure he'll get Overlord speed pretty quickly here as well. And now you have that shuttle. Are you looking to maybe do a High Templar drop, or do you just let the shuttle sit for a while?
I mean, I think you always want to if you could, but I don't think this map lends itself to easy storm drops, right? It's actually pretty bad for
Protoss. Yeah, it doesn't look... The main is huge. It's huge.
If anything, dude, I think he's going to power up on 2 bases. Oh, my God. He got a Dark Archon, and he picked it up in a shuttle. Oh, I think he just wants to hide it.
I think also it might have been stuck there behind the robo.
But if you think about it, it'd be really smart to put that in the shuttle, because if they look for anything like that and they think they can spring mutas on you, you're just not going to see it.
Yeah.
So this is 5-head stuff.
Or mind control a drone and pick it up and bring it back.
Tastosis.
Yeah.
Tastosis. It's not going to happen. If it does... What is that movie, Splicers, where that guy's head just blows up? That old movie? That's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to destroy this headset that I'm wearing. Because my the head will have exploded.
All right, well, Zealots up here look like they're going to force a cancel at that hatchery at the 4th base, rather. Very nicely done.
Ooh, the drone lives.
Drone trying to dodge out of here.
You really want to get that drone.
Looks like he can't quite get it, so that does get cleaned up. But even forcing the cancel there, I think, pretty good.
You were talking about that shuttle earlier, Tastosis. He might power up on 2 bases, put a couple of Zealots in the shuttle, and then when he pushes out, drop a couple of Zealots in the main to try to get him out of position.
Yeah. No, I've definitely seen that in the past some. Now, starting to move out. Look at this funny-looking army. It's very Dragoon heavy. He does have that Dark Archon. A decent amount of lurkers out in the map.
Yeah. I didn't have as much of an appreciation for how you're really just on low ground until now on this map. Like, I know we talked about it before in previous moments of looking at the map together, but if you look at this... Oh, and a very poor Maelstrom. I mean, I don't know, dude. I think Zerg might just kill him.
Yeah, it's looking a little bit rough, but those Psy Storms coming through in a big way.
He needed those Zealots to come back with the rest of his army. Dragoons can't really just fight Hydras unless they grossly outnumber them. And
oh god, I think he just lost his Observer as well. The Dark Archon goes down. He has to pull back.
He's got another Obs over here. Okay, so this is where we're getting into extremely dangerous territory for the Protoss, because Zerg can basically end the game, kind of like we've seen on Eclipse, where the Protoss just stops the Terran from taking a third and the game kind of just dries up. Well, this can happen on any map against Protoss if the Zerg gets the Lurker Contain. Lurker Contain, I think one of the, it's always been around in the game, and it is just as strong in the early days as it is in the old days.
Yeah, and it looks very difficult to get out of there. Now, he does have the shuttle, so maybe he can get some sort of counter damage done with this, but 815 is catching up in supply. He has his 4th base up in the top left. This Contain is coming along nicely. I'm feeling very nervous about Best falling out extremely early in this tournament.
Yeah, well, he's going to get these Zealots unloaded here. He needs to basically try to break out as these Zealots come in here and just fight whatever in the world they can. And we have some stuff being pulled back. Here's where the Dragoons have to come. You got to be careful to not overextend with these Zealots. I guess he's going to do whatever he can to get out in front. Honestly, dude, I think 815 basically just has him boxed in. This is an extremely wide area to try to break free from. And the Zealot harass, it killed some workers. But what Zerg basically wants to do here is dump gas into lurkers and just keep the Protoss trading unfavorably here. Now, Best has to fight his absolute greatest breakout ever here. But the control from 815 is still very solid.
Yeah, and he has so many Hydras here against just the Goons left over. Some more High Templars are coming up, but there's so many Lurkers still behind. Picks off another Observer. Best having such a terrible time trying to break out. His Morphing Archon going to get picked off as well. Shuttle going to pick up a couple Zealots, perhaps. Not sure where he's going to go with that, but the drone count of 815 is getting out of control. His supply is almost caught up. Everything looking negative here for Best.
Yeah, it's looking pretty bad, isn't it, Artosis? This is, oh boy. I think Best is going to get eliminated. And I'll tell you what, he did not die in this tournament really to a Lurker Contain as much as he died to DT Tech cross spawns in a PvP,
And a failed cannon rush.
We've talked about this. I got a lot to say here. We've talked about this, that StarCraft 1, in one game, it can be more back and forth. The comeback mechanic is a little bit stronger in StarCraft 1 through unintentional game design, but you know how to make that not the case is to do a build where you just die if you don't have detection.
Yeah.
And you got to play these groups. We talk about it in GSL. I think sometimes we see GSL players a little bit better at playing groups like this than some of our even best ASL players, where I'm like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I
would definitely agree with that, yeah. Well, some of these strategies, it's like, oh god, this was all best of ones, and we did a DT rush with no detection, we did a cannon rush, and at the end of the day, that's some big risks when you are the strongest player in the group. Like, Free is great, sSak is pretty strong, but I don't think anyone would really argue that Best is just stronger than these guys.
Well, Best is... Okay, there's a small chance he could try to do something with this. He's broken out, and now he's got to keep half of his army out here and basically run when it becomes not favorable. And Best, oh my god, dude, he's so good. He might actually still kind of wiggle free from this.
He's so low on units, though.
Yeah.
Like, look at this. The flank coming up, his 4 units out here, kind of getting boxed in. I'm sure he has some reinforcements, but his economy is down on 1 base that's super saturated now.
Yeah, you know, I don't think we're going to get a shot of it. Oh, well, this is another way to just, you know, get 6 feet under even faster.
Yeah.
You know, he's going to run out of minerals at his natural. You make a lot of probes in this because you're expected to take a 3rd and a 4th pretty quickly after that. And, you know, Zerg has this very specific window to lock you in, and that's what happened. And this game is over. You know, it's another big upset, man, but I'll tell you, you look at the thought process behind, you know, some of the plays in this group, and I don't know what to say. A15 seems to be a lot more reasonable as far as, you know, strategic planning. And again, it's more than just what happens in the game, guys. It's more than just being able to make, you know, the right units or to know the right builds. You really have to try to play probability, play odds, and I think A15's kind of done a better job. GG Best in one of the great plot twists, no doubt, of Season 12. Best is out, and 815 moves on.
Yeah, this was not expected. Like, literally, I remember saying just a couple hours ago, well, Best is going to get out of the group. We both know that, right? Like, he's just so strong. But here we are in a world where 815 is advanced. Best is out in 3rd place of his group. Sharp in Group A out in 3rd place.
Man.
And now Noob in 815. Players that you don't think of when you think of ASL are going into the next round, the round of 16.
What a weird day here. Guys, we're going to have an interview in a second here with 815. Quick reminder, if you love ASL with Tastosis covering it, if you want to support our efforts in Brood War and continue to make good English content for that, you go to patreon.com/ASL English, and you can keep supporting us there. And hopefully, Group C, man, we don't have any upsets this insane, Artosis. I know a lot of Protoss players are going to be hurting after what happened tonight.
Yeah. Well, at least Free did end up making it through, which is nice. But let's do that interview.
시즌 12 24강 B조 경기 모두 함께 만나보셨습니다. 또 한 번의 이변이 탄생했습니다. 오늘의 두 번째 16강 진출자 배병우 선수 만나보겠습니다. 축하드립니다.
네, 감사합니다.
이보다도 완벽한 ASL 신고식이 어디 있을까라는 생각이 듭니다.
네네.
개인적으로는 11년 만에 개인 리그 출전이었고요. ASL은 첫 출전이었는데 이렇게 당당하게 16강에 진출하셨습니다. 지금 굉장히 많은 생각이 머릿속에 좀 떠오르실 것 같은데 배병우 선수 지금 기분 어떠세요?
일단 너무 얼떨더라고요. 경기 때는 긴장이 안 됐는데 끝나고 나니까 진짜 너무 긴장되고 너무 기분 좋습니다.
정말 오랜만에 경기를 뛰었다고는 믿기 힘들 정도로 오늘 굉장히 경기 안에서도 다채로운 모습을 좀 보여주신 것 같아요. 특히 최우선 선수와의 패자전에서는 어떻게 4드론을 하실 생각을 하셨는지 정말 지면 끝인 경기였잖아요.
네네네. 일단 맵별로 좀 연습을 좀 많이 했었고 10맵에서 이제 상대가 어떻게 할지를 예상해가지고 4드론 하게 됐는데 약간 운이 좋아가지고 잘 먹힌 것 같습니다.
좀 미리 생각을 해오셨던 빌드였군요.
네네네.
근데 오히려 최종전 도재욱 선수와의 경기에서는 상대가 승부수를 좀 던졌어요. 선포지로.
네네네.
그때 좀 무슨 기분이 드셨나요?
좀 예상을 못했는데 갑자기 캐논러시 해가지고 약간 좀 못 막은 것 같아가지고 불리한 줄 알았는데 그래도 히드라 쓰면서 좀 경기가 잘 풀려가지고 다행인 것 같습니다.
캐논러시를 막고 그리고 도재욱 선수의 다크까지 꽤나 순조롭게 막아내시고 결국에 병력으로 상대를 압박하면서 승리를 거두셨어요.
네네.
승부사면 승부사, 또 수비 이후 운영이면 운영, 좀 자신감이 붙으셨을 만한 오늘 24강 내용이었을 것 같거든요.
근데 솔직히 처음에는 자신있다 했는데 아직 좀 많이 부족하고 그 16강 가서는 더 열심히 해야 될 것 같습니다.
사실 최우선 선수가 배병우 선수를 노리고 왔다라고 경기 전 인터뷰에서도 밝혔을 정도로 배병우 선수의 큰 임팩트가 아직은 없었을 분들도 굉장히 많으셨을 텐데 아마 오늘 경기로 많은 분들의 생각이 바뀌셨을 것 같습니다. 팬들에게도 한 말씀 전해주시면 좋을 것 같은데요.
일단 요즘에 그 배병대 팬분들이랑 해가지고 너무 응원이 많이 해주시는데 진짜 너무 감사드리고 16강 가가지고는 더 열심히 해가지고 좋은 모습 보여드리도록 하겠습니다.
8.15 예선 통과의 기운이 계속해서 배병우 선수를 감싸고 있는 것 같습니다. 조지명식에서는 또 어떤 각오로 임하실지도 마지막으로 한 말씀 해주시죠.
일단 조지명식에서는 이제 범수랑 저랑은 계속 이제 수그리고 약간 빌면서 해야 될 것 같습니다.
A조로 가실 확률이 높다라는 느낌이 좀 드시나요? 어떠세요?
네, 맞습니다.
그렇다면 오히려 좀 경기를 어떻게 준비하실지 미리 계산을 하실 수도 있을 것 같은데 16강에서 또 멋진 모습을 기대하도록 하겠습니다. 다시 한번 축하드립니다.
네, 감사합니다.
자, 이렇게 해서 24강 B조에서 두 번째로 16강에 오른 배병우 선수와 함께했습니다.
And there you have it. Free and 8-15 advance. Our first and second seed. Wait, who was the second seed? I guess it was actually Free. No, it was sSak. Yeah. Okay. Start it over.
Start the cast over.
But yeah, look, basically, sSak is out. Another strong Terran. Another of the top Terrans is out. And then Best, a huge upset just like Sharp from Group A. Some crazy games tonight. Some very cheesy games tonight. 4-pool, DT rushes, cannon rush, and not really working out very well for Best, was it?
No, and you know, it's tough, man. I got to be critical of how he planned. I really do. You know, you got to treat this best of ones, no matter what. I mean, if you do something too risky, things can backfire, and suddenly you're no longer in a position to advance, even to the round of 16, even if you're best.
Yeah. All right, so our next matches in Group C and Group D, Snow, Hyuk, JYJ, and Movie, and then Soma, Hyun, Mong, and Barracks. Well, if you look at these first two groups, then you look at those, like if Snow and Soma don't advance, basically this is the season of upsets, right?
Yeah.
Like we have like these killers in each group, and they're just not making it through. But these next two groups, do one of these stand out to you as one that you're more excited about?
I mean, always fun to see Snow play. But Soma, I've been a fan of him for a while, so let's see what he's got in Group D. But, you know, both of these groups look good. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Not one more than the other.
They both do look quite nice. Yeah, and I'm excited to see how Movie does. I heard he just kind of came back out of nowhere and qualified. Like, he was not well practiced. He was not up to date on the meta, and he just used, like, older strategies and made it through, I heard. So I'm very excited to see what type of play he's going to be bringing as well to that group.
Awesome, man. Well, we'll be getting this stuff out for you guys as quickly as possible. I know there were a little bit of delays at the start, but I think we have a system in place. We can crank this out pretty fast. And are we ready to wrap this up, Tastosis?
I think so, guys. Thank you so much for watching. You know, it's been kind of a weird night tonight, but I'm hoping some of these big favorites actually do make it through to the round of 16.
All right, guys. We'll see you in Group C. We love you. Take care. Until next time. Bye-bye.